And how about Julius Randles, the Knicks at the Garden taking on the T-Wolves, and this one was a game. Watch Randle here. Here, legs. The drive right to the rack.
Yeah, what a year he's had, putting up huge numbers every night and showing you the versatility as a guy that could drive, finish, spot up, and shoot it, and he felt it early last night.
Had 12 in the first quarter all alone. He was just getting started, legs. But we get to the fourth, under a minute to go. The trap, Brunson passing it, and then Randle scoring the bucket and one. Knocked down the free throw, legs. He's got 57.
An epic night for him. Unfortunately, the defense let him down a little bit and allowed Minnesota to put up some big numbers.
Randle thought he had the rebound, got knocked away from him. He thought he got fouled, so he's upset. And then all of a sudden they lose contain. And how about that? There's the score by Taurean Prince. And that's really the score that put him up. And Randle just explodes, gets a technical. And look, the Knicks go on and lose this one, 140-134. Now, Randle's career-high 57 points, tied for third most in Knicks history. It's also the fifth most game there at the Garden since it opened in '68, trailing only Carmelo Anthony, James Harden, Kobe Bryant, and Bernard King. Of course, Randle, his first 50-point game there, a career high for him, and the first player to put up 50 there since as a Knick since Carmelo Anthony in 2014. Looking at obviously a bad loss last night, but looking the way the Knicks have been playing, they've been on a roll. Can they make some noise, you think, in the postseason?
They're one of those teams that's I consider lurking beneath the surface, right?
Yeah.
In the East, we've been talking about Boston and Milwaukee all year. Philadelphia has actually been the best team in the NBA over the last 2 months. So you got three teams at the top, but then you've got the Knicks and the Cavs right there hovering, and neither one of those teams would be somebody you would want to see in a first-round series. So if it's the Knicks-Cleveland, I think to me that's a toss-up. I think if the New York Knicks ended up with a team like Philly, that could be a 6 or 7 game series where you've got to work for it to get it. Now, I don't know that they have quite enough in terms of their depth to be able to make a run at Boston, Milwaukee, and probably even Philadelphia the way they're playing now. But playoff pressure does things to people. So if you get, a team like Cleveland that does not have a lot of collective playoff experience, you get a team like Philly where they've had some guys have struggles in the postseason, the Knicks could be a team that could potentially make some noise and surprise somebody in the first round.
Obviously, Randle's been much better from what we saw last year. We had that down year. How much has the addition of Brunson been for them?
I think for me, there are 3 guys in the entire league that have had the biggest impact in terms of first-year players with a first full year with a new team. Jalen Brunson would be in that category, Donovan Mitchell, and then Sabonis with Sacramento. Those are the 3 guys that have been the difference makers. For the Knicks, think about how many point guards they've been through over the last 2 decades, trying to solidify that position. He was the biggest name in the free agent market because most guys, re-signed with their own teams, the big stars. So he was the big name. A lot of pressure came with that. And what he has showed us is, first of all, his ceiling is much higher as an offensive player than anybody thought coming into the NBA.
Right.
And the other thing is, we should have learned this from him at Nova, he thrives under pressure. He loves the big stage, the big moment. Coming to Madison Square Garden with expectations on a team, when you get that kind of money, there's a lot of pressure that comes with that, and he has done nothing but embrace it, run toward the light rather than run from it. So one of the biggest acquisitions in the league without question, gives them a real chance.
Welcome back to Get Up. Let's talk about the game of the night. Joel Embiid, the Sixers hosting the Bulls on Monday night, fourth quarter, under a minute to go, tied up at 89. The master of the mid-range, DeMar DeRozan, Tim Legler, money.
Wait, is that score right in the modern NBA? 91-89 late in the game? That's usually a halftime score. What is going on? But DeMar DeRozan with the mid-range, and then Tyrese Maxey gets downhill to tie it.
We're tied up at 91. So we go to overtime here, legs. Under a minute to go in OT. James Harden feeds it. Joel Embiid scores it. He had 37 in this one. Sixers go up 2. 5 seconds left. DeRozan, game winner. He did this all last season. Misses this one, though. So we go to 2 OTs, legs.
Not necessary in his wheelhouse, right? He's liking to get to 18 feet, not 24.
Embiid on the bench, he fouls out, and then James Harden driving to the rack. Get that out of here. Look at the block. Fantastic block by Derrick Jones. The Bulls go on to win this one, 109-105, and 2 overtimes. Embiid, 37, 16, and 6 Listen, the 76ers loss drops them to a half game behind the Celtics for that 2 seed. They're 3 games behind the Bucks for the top spot. Now, ESPN Analytics currently gives Milwaukee nearly an 80% chance to earn the number 1 seed, which means home court advantage, likely the only one of Boston or Philly in the playoffs. All right, listen here. I want to show you a little something here because, Tuesday is Legs Day. You know what? And look, our art department went overtime. I mean, this picture looks better than Legs' tan right now.
How'd you get a camera in my home gym, man? I didn't know you guys were. I love it. I didn't know you guys were checking me out at home.
That is tremendous.
Oh,
look at that.
Sensational.
That's young Legs there.
Oh,
young Legs.
I love it.
All right, so give us your top 3 teams right now in the NBA.
All right, number 3, and I had to wrestle with this one because it's really a toss-up between these 2 teams, but ultimately I'm going to go with Boston still. I know they have not played well over the last month.
Right.
But I'm going for their season-long body of work, and I think Jason Tatum's going to find his mojo once again. I just love their depth, and I think this is a team right now that's finding themselves a little bit out of rhythm. They've got to find it before you get into postseason, because if you have to play Philadelphia or something like that in the second round, they could go home early. So I'm still going to go with Boston with a slight nod over Philly for number 3. Number 2, Denver Nuggets out west. And look, this is obviously as we wait to see what Kevin Durant's going to look like in Phoenix.
Right.
The Clippers get a sustained run with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. I think those are the 2 biggest threats to the Nuggets out west. But for now, I'm not dismissing the regular season that the Nuggets have had while all these teams try to figure out who they are late in the season. They've got a great starting 5, great role definition. They added depth. They're exceptionally well coached, and they've got one of the best players in the NBA. So let's go with the Denver Nuggets. But right now, for me, the number 1 team is Milwaukee. And this hinges on Chris Middleton being healthy and being productive and being the Chris Middleton that we've seen. He's starting to find that rhythm. You still got 34 there, obviously, but then again, this is a team that's gone out and added pieces. You go pick up a Jay Crowder, you pick up a Joe Ingles. The playoff experience that those 2 guys have collectively, I think that helps Milwaukee with depth and having key guys step up in big moments. So for me right now, I think the Milwaukee Bucks take the top spot.
Here's the thing that kills me. We got Sal Pal here. We got Philly guys here, and then we get Philly loses. I mean, they have been on a roll.
Is this the way they treat people when they come to the show?
He's got this streak of 30 plus.
Unbelievable. First I get sneaky Hembo, and then I get the Sixers losing against the Bulls in double overtime. What is this about?
That's the way we are in Philly. I see Sal Pal first time in a long time. Football guy, first thing he says, what a bad loss for the Sixers. It really was, too.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.